As a law officer in Denver, I've had some mighty strange assignments. But this was something new for me and my partner, George Romack. Our job was to be bodyguard for a poet.
Hey, you're early, gents.
We wouldn't want to miss the royal welcome by the good ladies of Denver. Wow, he looks like a regular 4th of July celebration.
This is wonderful, Tom. Almost every seat in the house sold out.
Well, it's for a worthy cause. Don't you want to buy a ticket, Mac? Only costs $100.
What? Me pay $100 just to hear some English dude spout poetry? No, sirree. Now, if he was bringing in some dancing girls, that's entirely...
Look! Here comes Lord Hillary. Lord Hillary's here.
Something wrong here, George.
It's empty. No driver.
Here's the driver, Mac. He's dead. Nothing on the coach gave us any clue to the murder. George and I started backtracking to see if we could find the missing Lord Hillary. Looks like the driver's gun, George.
Too many tracks. Can't make heads or tails out of them.
Sorry to disturb you, chaps. You hurt? Oh, I'm all right, thank you. There's been a bit of unpleasantness.
Yes, I know. I'm Tom Smith, Denver Police. This is my partner, George Romack.
I'm Alfred Hillary. Oh, so you're two bobbies, eh?
No, just plain lawmen. We're supposed to welcome you to Denver.
Oh, no, thank you. I've already had my welcome. And if this be your welcome, I prefer your snubs.
I can assure you this is not the usual welcome. You mind telling us what happened?
Well, yes, as we drove along, a masked gentleman requested the driver to stop, and since he was carrying a revolver, it seemed advisable to oblige him. And then, like a silly ass, I got out of the coach to take a look, and he either hit me on the head with the butt of his revolver, or one of your mountains fell on me.
How long were you out?
Well, long enough for the highwayman to take my wallet and depart. I can't give you the exact time because, you see, he also took my watch.
Can you give us a description?
Yes, he was tall and dressed in black and wore a mask. And by the time I'd regained consciousness, he was gone and so was my coach.
So then you hightailed it over here, huh?
Hightailed is hardly the word. I dragged myself to shelter.
You feel like riding into Denver?
The worse the passage, the more welcome the port. Do you think it would be possible to get a spot of brandy in Denver?
Something equally reviving.
Yeah, then I can make it to Denver. Will Summers be waiting for me there?
Who's Summers?
My valet. I assume that he and the driver escaped in the coach.
Well, the driver got there all right, in time for his funeral.
Dead?
Shot through the head.
What about Summers?
Well, he wasn't in the coach.
Oh, no, I remember now. When I got out of the coach, he opened the other door. He might have made a run for it.
We better look for him. Take a look at him, George.
Poor chap, his troubles are now over.
Shot through the chest, but he's still alive, Smitty.
You stay with him, George. Lord Hillary and I'll ride into town. I'll send Doc Henderson out with a buckboard. You're not in too good a shape yourself, your lordship. Honk on the noggin. We better get you to the doctor.
How is he?
Well, I don't know. Doc got the bullet out, though. He's got him in the back room. Lord Hillary, this is Sarah, Doc's niece. She'll be taking care of Summers.
Charmed, I'm sure. But don't you think that I ought to stay with him? After all, noblesse oblige, you know.
I think it's just a slight case of shock.
I'm sure there's nothing you can do, Lord Hillary. Sarah's a good nurse. She'll look after him.
I'll let you know as soon as he comes to.
George, Chief wants you to handle the investigation. He's assigned 2 men to work with you.
Well, ain't you coming with me, Smitty?
No, he gave me strict orders to chaperone his lordship. Make sure he doesn't get hurt again.
Wasn't something said a short while ago about a spot of brandy?
Oh, yes. The nearest oasis is no further than yon street corner.
Boys, I'd like to propose a little toast to Lord Hillary and the success of our benefit show. Yeah. What's the matter, Carruthers? Fly in your drink?
Whiskey's all right, but I'm not drinking a toast to any Englishman.
But you're an Englishman yourself, aren't you?
I'm an American citizen now, and I have no use for a perfume freak like Lord Hillary.
Well, of all things.
You better keep it down, boss. Looks like we got company.
Well. Howdy, gentlemen.
Mr. Jeffers, Lord Alfred Hillary. Sam Jeffers, best editor west of the Mississippi.
Every able editor is a ruler of the world.
And this is Whitey Bass, the best prospector, at least when it comes to locating free drinks. And this is Matt, our stage line manager.
Howdy, Your Majesty.
Right this way, Your Lordship. And this is Mr. Carruthers, one of our newest citizens.
Oh, fee fi fo fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. What ails the chap?
I don't know.
Oh, never mind him, Your Lordship. How about a drink?
Well, an excellent idea. I say, bartender, may I have a spot of the grape?
Grape? Mister, you're in the wrong place. This here ain't no fruit stand.
I think he means brandy, Jack.
Brandy? All I got is red eye.
Ah, an American drink. That sounds jolly.
Say when, partner. You'd better say when pretty quick, or you're apt to get too jolly.
Here you go. The cup that cheers. A little on the mild side.
Mild side. Why, I use that whiskey to clean my printing presses with. Allow me.
Oh, no. This is my treat. That is, if the bartender will allow me to write a bank draft on my New York ranch. You see, a gentleman with a gun helped me mislay my wallet.
Sure, Your Honor. How much?
$1,000 should be enough.
$1,000?
Oh, anything you like, Your Lordship. Do you have enough to cover that, Jack?
Well, yeah, but it just about cleaned me out. Here you are.
Go.
Sure beats me. Well, I'd have been a poet myself if I'd have known there's so much money in it.
Excuse me, boys. I reckon I ought to introduce myself to his lordship.
Just want to say hello, your lordship. Lou Dawson's the name.
Oh, are you a resident of Denver, too, Mr. Dawson?
I sure am.
Well, he won't be if I ever catch him with an ace up his sleeve.
Yeah. Well, speaking of aces, your lordship, we have a little card game going on this afternoon.
Cards? You mean whist, I presume.
Well, no, not exactly. It's more like stud poker. You care to sit in?
Delighted. I'm very fond of your quaint American pastimes.
I don't think you'd be too fond of this one.
Oh, come on, Smith. Let him have a little fun. After all, it's just a friendly game. Right over here, your lordship. Boys at my table can't hardly wait to meet you. Boys, this is Lord Hillary.
Delighted, gentlemen.
Now, I'm the banker, your lordship.
Oh.
You can buy your chips from me.
How much are they?
This should be enough to get you started. Now, you can deal. You know the rules.
Not too well. You'll have to advise me as we go along.
I'm sure they'll be happy to do that. I'll pick you up in about an hour. I couldn't bear to watch my English lamb being fleeced by the Denver wolves. So I decided to spend the time searching through the records to see if I could get a lead on the holdup man.
$2,400, American money. This is fun. I don't know when I've enjoyed an hour so much.
Well, I didn't. Seems to me you caught on powerful fast for a greenhorn.
I'm very quick. And now, if you'll be good enough to pay me what you owe me.
I'll pay you all right.
I told you I was quick.
That was plumb purty, Your Majesty.
Well, I'm glad if I entertained you.
Hey, what happened here?
By George, Tom, you should have been here to see the fracas. Yes, sir, and I've changed my mind about buying a ticket to that benefit. Because if His Majesty can spout poetry the way he can fight, my tinkies, I want to be there.
Well, my verse was not designed for the masses, but there may be moments that will amuse you.
Yeah.
I'm glad some good came of this. I'm sorry for the trouble, your lordship.
Oh, there's no trouble at all. And now I wonder if I might go back to the hotel and clean up and change my clothes. I would like to appear at my best at the benefit tonight.
By all means.
And now I'd like the money that is rightfully mine. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. And when we meet again, we shall smile.
Nothing. I left the boys to see if they could find anything in the hills out there. How's Summers?
He's still out.
You know, Smitty, we could be on the wrong track searching that back country. I bet you our guilty man's right here in Denver.
And who might that be?
It just might be that fella Carruthers.
Makes you say that?
Well, I stopped in the saloon for a beer on the way back here. And he had been in there and had a few, too. And he was flashing a roll big enough to choke a horse.
Yeah, that is strange. He's been knocking around town for about 2 weeks. Doesn't seem to have a job. Where would he get that money?
That's just what I've been wondering. Of course, Hillary lost his wallet this morning. Must have been carrying quite a bundle.
Where is Carruthers?
He lit out kind of sudden-like, after saying something about him coming out here to get away from Englishmen.
But I don't understand. Why would anyone harm Summers? He was just a poor old man.
But he was an Englishman, your lordship.
What does that mean?
Well, nothing to me or many others for that matter, but to some it might make a difference.
You're joking.
Oh, murder's no joke, your lordship.
No, I suppose not.
May I offer my condolences, your lordship? I hope you won't hold this tragedy against the good people of Denver.
No man is responsible. Fate chooses who she will. But I shall miss poor old Summers.
Was he with you long?
Almost 7 years. He was a devoted servant, too. He could quote every line I ever wrote. Well, man was born to die.
I'm sorry, Your Lordship, but I think we better get over to the Opera House. There's a big crowd waiting for the performance to begin.
As I suppose so. What does this you Americans say? The show must go on.
You joining us, Tom?
Later.
You better follow them, George.
Oh, but Lord Hillary will be all right on the stage at the Opera House, Smitty. I'd like to find that fella Carruthers.
George, I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
Well, let me climb that tree, Smitty, and we'll find out.
All right. But you meet me backstage at the Opera House in 30 minutes.
Good, thanks.
Find what you're looking for? Just raise your hand.
Where's that wallet?
What wallet?
Lord Hillary's. You held up his coach this morning.
Wait a moment. Are you accusing me of...
Listen, a man at the stable told me you rented a horse this morning at sunup. You've been gone all day.
Well, it's no crime to rent a horse. I had business in Leadville.
All right, what about that money? There's nearly $3,000 there, yet you were broke yesterday.
Well, I received a draft to the Bank of Leadville from London. I'm a remittance man, Mr. Romack.
A remittance man? What's that?
Well, it's not something to be proud of. A remittance man is a chap whose high-born father is so ashamed of him that he sends him money to stay out of the country. But you can check my story.
Well, I guess so. Still, if your story's true, then who killed Summers?
Our days shall pass, and we descend to wonder, hearing the voice of night's eternal, silent thunder. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your kindly acceptance of my poor verses. I shall carry with me many memories of the generosity of the people of Denver. And now, for my concluding recitation, I shall give one written by the greatest poet of all time, Shakespeare. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages.
Congratulations, Your Highness. That was a mighty fine show. Yes, sir, mighty fine.
You enjoyed my little verses?
Enjoyed them. I was plumb loco about them. Especially that piece by that fellow, what's his name, Shakespeare.
As you like it.
You're darn tootin' I like it.
There you are, Your Lordship. All ready for delivery to Leadville.
I'll carry that for you.
Well, you needn't have bothered.
No bother at all. Say, this is heavy.
It should be. $23,000 for the widows and orphans of that mine tragedy.
I'll have to make sure it gets to them safely.
Well, there's no problem there. I'm taking it myself tonight in my own coach. I've already hired a driver. Coach should be here by now.
I've taken the liberty of making a slight change in your plan.
Change?
Yes, I felt that you should be guarded by one of Denver's finest. Here he comes now. Mr. O'Mac will see that you get safely to Leadville.
Well, you really shouldn't have gone to all that trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble. After all, you're a guest of the city of Denver. I aim to see you get just the kind of treatment you deserve. Have a nice trip, Your Lordship.
Thank you. Farewell.
out the window, Mr. Summers.
Pull him up, George! Oh!
What happened? He jumped out. See if there's some way to get down there. He's dead, George. Neck's broken.
Pretty clever scheme, ain't it? Killing the driver, then Lord Hillary, so he could take his place. Try to get away with the money, too. When'd you first suspect him, Smitty?
Back at the police station. I got the feeling he wasn't too upset about losing his faithful servant. Another thing, take a look at his shoes, George. Real Lord Hillary's shoes must have started hurting him, so he put on a pair of his own.
Yeah, but after you guessed all this about him, how come you let him go on with his performance?
I want to let him tip his hand for sure. Besides, how are we going to get the money for those widows and orphans? What do you say we go to Leadville?
Now, wait a minute, Smitty. Seems to me there's something illegal in what we're doing.
Well, maybe a little, but everyone enjoyed themselves, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. Even old Mac. All right, Smitty, Leadville it is.
changes, Mr. Fender?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the house is pretty hot tonight.
Don't count the money, Ben. Just pour the drinks. You're not giving any credit to Philo Blanche, are you?
No, he's good.
When he runs out of money, shut him off.
All right, Mr. Fender.
I hope you gentlemen will not deem it immodest of me if I boast of my sheer legerdemain in converting a set of cold, dry Blackstone into this warm, golden liquid. In any case, the pawnbroker was modest enough.
I'm getting sick and tired of this waiting. When do we move?
Combination's right. Money's rolling in. Blanche is tying one on. Tonight's the night.
Whiskey, eh?
Cash on the barrelhead, Mr. Blanche. Sorry.
My word is my bond, Ben. But since you insist,
Look, Mr. Blanche. Huey Fender'd skin me alive if I give you any more credit.
Tom, my boy, I appeal to you, both of us being minions of the law.
One for the road, Philo?
The long, long road.
Why don't you drink this and then go home?
You think I'm drunk, don't you, Tom?
A little suspicious.
Why, my boy, I've spilled more whiskey than most men ever drink.
It's your life, Philo.
Oblivion, Tom. Sweet oblivion. One more, my friend.
No more.
Ah, the landlord. The Boniface whose face is not so bonny. How did a penny-pinching scut like you ever decide to go into a congenial business like this?
You get your whiskey-soaked hook out of here and stay out.
No man takes a stick to me.
If it wasn't for my feeling for your daughter,
You stay away from Ellen. And if you so much as mention her name again, I'll kill you. Do you hear me, Fender? I'll kill you.
Come on, Philo. We'll take you home.
I don't need any help. Thank you, Tom.
Why do you ride the poor devil so hard, Fender?
it's the only way to handle scum like that.
Sober, that scum you're referring to happens to be the best lawyer in Denver.
The best lawyer in Denver. Tomorrow morning, he won't even remember what happened tonight.
Maybe that's just as well for you. Oh, George.
Is that you, Dad?
Well, like you said last night, Smitty, maybe Fenner did push Fido a little too far.
Look at the coroner over here, George. Jim, you stick here. Don't let anyone move anything. Go over this place later with a fine-tooth comb.
Dad, now, you try to get some of this down.
What I need is some of the hair of the hound that bit me.
From the look of you, I'd say you swallowed the whole kennel. Oh, Dad, you were going along so well for a while. What makes you do it?
I don't know, Ellen. I honestly don't.
Dad, it just has to stop. I can't stand much more.
I swear I'll try again, Ellen. But spare me any preaching.
Yes, that's what you say every time.
I know. It's just that after your mother died, I thought if we left New York, came to a country that was fresh and new, maybe things would change.
It can, Dad. It can. I know it can. Why, there's no end to what you could do if you set your mind to it.
Except to pass a saloon, maybe?
I'll get you something to go with your coffee.
Morning, Philo.
Well, I've seen better. Oh, I left my hat somewhere, eh?
Afraid you did.
How about a cup of coffee?
Where'd you go after you left us last night, Philo?
Was it with you?
That bad, huh?
Got off to an early start yesterday. All I remember is going to the pawnbroker's with a set of law books.
You don't recall quarreling with Fender?
No. Oh, but can't we talk about it somewhere else, eh?
You mind if I take a look around first?
No, go ahead. Will you tell me what this is all about, Tom?
You owed Fender a lot of money.
That's no secret.
Last night you said you'd kill him.
I did? What does he want, a public apology?
He's dead. Murdered. How did you come by Fender's account book?
I just don't know, Tom. How did it happen?
He was beaten to death in his home.
And you found my hat there?
That's right.
How could I do a thing like that and just forget it?
What's the matter, Dad?
Gilly Fender was killed last night. It looks like I did it.
You? Well, you couldn't... Tom, you know Dad isn't capable of such a thing.
The condition I was in last night, I might have done anything.
Sorry, Ellen. Maybe we better go, Philo.
I'll bring you things as soon as I can, Dad.
No, Ellen. Just stay away from me, please. For your own sake.
Why don't you bring me the money?
Changed my mind. I figured it'd be safer here. Besides, the job turned out to be a little bigger than we figured on.
Meaning what?
Meaning now, half ain't enough.
You weren't supposed to kill Fender.
I had to. He seen me, Ben boy.
If you got us in a lot of trouble.
Take it easy. Don't get so edgy. Everything came off slicker than a peeled onion. Why, I saw Smith hauling Philo Blanche down to the jail not more than a half an hour ago.
That doesn't mean they gotta keep him there. Now, you listen to me and listen good. You made this a hanging affair, not me. If you know what's good for you, you'll lay low till they hang Blanche and bury him. In the meantime, why don't you let me hold on to that money until this blows over?
You'd like that, wouldn't you? No, I think I'll keep it here. Tell you what I will do, though, to show you my heart's in the right place. I'll give you a quarter of it. Because I did all the work. You had the idea, of course. But, I wouldn't want you to think that I was dishonest.
Suppose I won't settle for just a quarter.
You got no choice, Ben boy.
Making much of an effort to remember.
Oh, now look here, Tom. You've got a case you can take into court. Why don't you let it rest at that?
I'm not trying to break any records for convictions. I'm just trying to get at the truth. It's hard for me to believe that one man can beat another to death and then not remember it.
Well, maybe that's because you've never been that drunk.
No, I haven't, Philo. But you're a smart man, even when you are drunk. And I keep asking myself why you'd bother to steal that loan book and then not hide it. Doesn't make sense.
Well, that won't bother the prosecutor. You know, I had a chicken-killing dog once. As good a dog as you'd want. But he just couldn't resist killing chickens. That fool dog. He used to bring them home and lay them at my feet. He didn't make much sense either. I appreciate your kindness, Tom. But let the law take its course.
This is a hanging matter. I want to make sure the right man's on the end of that rope.
You want to know something? They'd be doing me a favor. I've walked a thin line between now and whatever comes after this for a long time. I'm not much good to myself or to anyone else. Let the law do what I never had the stomach for.
Now you listen to me. If you're guilty, you're going to get what's coming to you. But if you're innocent, I'm not going to let you commit suicide just because you hate yourself for what you've done to Ellen. I want the right man.
Tom, would I be talking this way if I didn't think you had him?
It was the reverse of the usual case. A prisoner certain of his own guilt, and a police officer who was far from certain.
Get anything out of Philo?
Nope. Complete blank, George.
Well, looks to me it's not your fault if he went and dealt himself a losing hand.
Everyone in Denver knows how he blacks out when he drinks. It'd be an easy enough matter to get this hat away from him.
And plant it next to Fender's body?
Why not?
But that little loan book didn't just up and crawl in Philo's pocket. Besides, nobody hates the old boy that much.
An awful lot of people love money that much. Did you ever get the combination to that safe?
Yeah.
We opened the safe and found nothing but worthless papers. It was then the housekeeper told us Gilly Fender had kept his cash in a desk drawer, but it wasn't there. $8,000 had disappeared. Hello, Philo.
Hello, Tom.
Just saw Ellen.
Hmm?
You know, you're a lucky man to have someone who loves you that much.
Oh, now look here, Tom. I know what you're trying to do, but I'm guilty of murder.
No, you're not. You're innocent. You didn't kill Fender. Because if you did, there's a mighty big chunk of evidence missing. Fender's money. Now, you come up with that, and maybe I'll believe you guilty.
Money? Maybe I spend it.
Be pretty hard to spend $8,000 between midnight and daylight without someone noticing.
Well, then I must have hidden it somewhere.
Ellen and I searched your house from top to bottom. Anyway, why would you have hidden the money and not that loan book?
I just don't know, Tom.
I think I do. Don't you notice around those gambling tables, George? I want to pump that bartender. Philo spent a lot of time with him.
That's for darn sure.
Hello, Ben.
Hey, Mr. Smith. Would you like a drink?
No, thanks. I'm still on duty. Just want to ask you a couple questions.
All right.
Those gambling games back there. They take in quite a bit of money, don't they?
Yeah, I suppose so. Of course, that's not my end of it.
Well, Fender handled the take from that cage there, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you could hardly help noticing the money as it came in.
Well, no, but I never paid much attention to it.
What did Fender do with the money at night?
Took it with him, I guess.
You guess. Well, don't you know? Did he take it with him last night, for instance?
Well, yeah, yes, he did. He took it home in one of those metal boxes, just like he always did.
Who else knows about that box?
Well, the dealers back there, they know about it.
Any of them leave here right after he did?
I didn't notice. I never left the place at all myself. I got mixed up in an all-night poker game.
You often do that?
No, not too often, but I just felt like playing cards last night.
Lucky thing you happened to pick last night, huh, Ben?
What do you mean?
And puts you in the clear on the killing.
Nope. You?
I got by.
What's up?
I think we're onto something. That bartender covered his trail like a squid last night and made sure he let me know about it.
Well, it couldn't have been him then.
Could have had a partner.
Oh, boy, if he did, he's going to be hard to trace. Those bartenders got more friends than you can shake a stick at.
Yeah. This one would have something that would make him different. Big hunk of cash.
So?
George, easy money has a habit of burning a hole in your pocket if you're not used to it.
Oh, I can vouch for that.
So what do you say we start checking some places where easy money generally shows up? We'd made the rounds and came up with nothing. Until we hit a little Mexican cantina on the south side of town. There, the bartender remembered a man who'd been spending money like water.
Oh, quien sabe? A big hombre with a beard.
The fellow he left here with, can you describe him?
He's here for un momento nomás. I no look too close.
Surely he must remember something.
Oh, he's a man, another gringo. A mí no me importa.
You interrupted my drinking, Ben, boy. Just when I was beginning to make time with that senorita. You better have a pretty good reason.
I have got a good reason. That Detective Smith was around asking a lot of questions. I think he's suspicious of me.
Now, ain't that tough? Big smart fellow like you provides himself with a big alibi and all. Me, I just went about my business and nobody paid any attention to me at all.
If you don't seem to understand, we're in this thing together. If they pin it on one of us, they'll get us both. And those detectives are out right now looking for somebody.
Hey, you're afraid of your own shadow. They got the goods on old Blanche, ain't they? Now, I'm going back to that canteen.
You gotta stay hid out. If they find you drunk and spending money like water, they'll pin it on you sure as shooting and we'll both hang.
Now you make me sick. I'm sorry I got mixed up with a blubbering old woman like you.
You got to stay here!
I'm going back to that cantina before that senorita forgets all about me. Then, boy.
We picked up a tip from the girl in the cantina. It seems she'd formed a special friendship with the man in question, and we headed for his shack just outside of town. Somebody beat us to it. Yeah, I've seen this fellow somewhere before.
A lot of good he's trying to do us now.
Not so sure about that. He might still be a good witness for the prosecution.
Hello, Ben. I need a shot of rye, and I need it quick.
Well, how'd you talk your way out of jail?
I didn't have to. Eve Tabor did it for me.
Eve? What'd he say?
Not too much. He had a knife in his belly and was fighting for his breath, but he said enough to clear me.
Well, then he's dead.
No. It was a miracle. They've got him over at Doc's office now. That knife would have killed any other man. But you know Eve. Strong as a bull.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Eve. Listen, you help yourself. I'll be right back.
Kill him twice, did you, Ben?
What were you waiting for? Thought you'd never stop. You said Philo to trick me. Eve's been dead all the time.
Let's go. Philo used to swear off once a month. Now he was tackling it a day at a time. Every day he made it saved him enough to bail out another law book. And it was beginning to look like the whole set might soon be back on his shelf.